If you go into your YouTube studio without knowing what you're looking for, it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be a disaster, some might say. Well, maybe not as much of a disaster, but here's the thing. YouTube analytics, if you don't know where you're looking, you don't know what you're looking at and how to interpret the numbers, it's going to get overwhelming. And here's the thing, the reason that we go into YouTube Studio altogether is not just because it's there, but it's going to help us improve our content. It's going to allow us to actually improve everything that we're doing. So think about it this way. If you you know a destination, right? The destination for you with YouTube is getting clients, getting buyers, getting ultimately somebody reach out to you to buy a house or sell a house. That's the destination. That's why you're on YouTube as a real estate agent. Now, let's take one step back. Well, what do we need in order to accomplish that? What do we need for a buyer to actually reach out to us? Well, a big thing that we need is views. We need people to actually see our video. So taking it one step further. So once people see our videos, then they reach out to us. Now, in order for us to maximize the effort that we've already put in, maximize the exposure, we need to make sure that we are looking at our numbers and seeing where can we improve. And YouTube gives you this information. There's simple numbers that you can look at, simple items that you can identify through just plain English and straight and just numbers that are going to make it easier for you to make a better video and reach a larger amount of audience. So we're going to look at those 4 numbers right now. Let's get into it. So when it comes to YouTube analytics, you only need to look at 4 numbers. Those are the only 4 numbers that matter. And if you focus on these, you're going to make better videos, have a larger reach, and ultimately get a larger paycheck in the form of GCI. So let's get into it. All right, so the number 1 metric to look at is your 30-second retention. After the first 30 seconds of your videos, do you have at least 70% of your audience still there? If the answer is no, then try again. If the answer is no, there's something that went wrong. And it's not just the video itself, it's the packaging. So again, the goal here within the first 30 seconds is that your audience is still there. Why is that important? Well, because if somebody clicks on our video and immediately upon clicking on the video, they have remorse and they click out of that video, guess what? Enough of the people that do that YouTube will eventually stop recommending your videos, right? So if your video does not perform and it has a lot of people clicking off of it, then YouTube is not incentivized to waste another video that they present to a viewer, because there could have been another video that was better for them, right? So if you are causing people to click off and go off platform, YouTube is going to penalize you. Now, on the contrary, if YouTube sees that you're producing high quality content and people stay once they click on your video, that means that you've increased the time that the individuals have on YouTube. So when that happens, YouTube is going to reward you even more. So the metric that you're going after here at the end of the day is within the first 30 seconds, you need to hold at least 70% of your audience. Now, I actually went into the intro and how to actually achieve this metric in previous videos. So you're going to want to check those previous live streams out. The goal here is when you're going into your YouTube analytics, go to that part of the equation and go to that part of your studio and find the videos that are overperforming in this index. And if you see that your recent videos are not performing that way, then it's time to adjust. It's time to make a change. So your first 30 seconds matter. Get right into the meat and potatoes, get right into the content and keep it moving. Retention spikes. Now, when you're going through your retention graph, if you see these little humps, if you see these little spikes, that means that viewers went back and watched again. That gives you a huge clue. Guess what? Well, there's something in this at this timestamp. There's something in this part of the video that was worth watching over. So what needs to happen now? Well, we need to embed a lot more of those opportunities throughout the video. So you'll often see that whenever you are showing something on screen. So B-roll, whenever you're showing either a location via Google Maps, whenever you're showing numbers, whenever you're showing something that is visual or text on the screen that people are coming back to and reading over and over again. So that's why, again, you see these retention spikes that happen throughout your video. Doesn't mean that all of your videos should have that, but it is a strong indicator on what your audience is actually looking for. So find what gets rewatched and then build videos around that and build more opportunities throughout the video as well. If you see that people are responding to text on screen because of the spikes that happen when you present text on the screen, what happens? Well, at this point, you need to be making more content or putting more text on screen on your content. That's how you start capitalizing on the analytics that you see plain as day in your videos. The third metric is one that a lot of folks don't realize even exists. So the suggested video traffic, which videos are suggesting yours. There's YouTube. YouTube pairs your video with others in the sidebar. So essentially, there's three types of traffic on YouTube. There is the suggested traffic, there's the browse traffic, and there's the search traffic. Search traffic is when somebody is searching on the YouTube, like how to buy a house. That's search traffic. Browse traffic is when somebody logs into their app and sees videos already there populated for them. That's browse traffic. Suggested traffic puts your videos at the end of videos, at the side of the videos that somebody else is watching, or at the bottom of the videos if you're on mobile. So essentially, it's videos that YouTube is placing right next to your quote-unquote competitors. Essentially, pairs you up with other people in other people's content, and that's suggested traffic. That's suggested views. So essentially, it's one of the most exponential ways to grow your channel. What you're doing here, whenever you're going to your YouTube studio, you're identifying who's actually suggesting you or what content is actually suggesting you. So you can then go to those creators and see what videos are they making that I can supplement, that I can identify a gap in. So essentially, that companion video is so powerful. Why? Well, because at that point, if you see that there's a video that is, if you see a creator that continues to make content that feeds more and more views into your channel, well, when you go to that creator and you see that their video about property taxes blew up, guess what? You need to have a video that complements those property tax videos. Now, you're not going to go over there and rip it off. You're not going to go over there and copy it. However, you are going to go and see what type of content is being suggested out there and how can I actually make a video that either precedes the content that they're talking about or is after the fact, right? So you're not trying to replicate, you're not trying to redo the video that they created, you're complementing it. You're adding to the conversation because you know that channel is already suggesting your video and you're getting views from that. So suggested video traffic is absolutely vital when it comes to YouTube analytics. Now, views by content, this is when you have to dig a little bit deeper and have more of an understanding of what you're doing, more of an understanding of what type of content you're bringing to the marketplace. So whenever you launch content, chances are you have different formats, you have different types of videos. You might have neighborhood tour videos, you might have cost of living, you might have market updates, you might have property walkthroughs. There's different types of videos that you're bringing to the marketplace on your YouTube channel. So what you have to do at that point is just double down on the top formats that are working and then forget the rest, right? If you notice that anytime you make a video of a property tour, so if you're doing a property tour video and then you upload a video that talks about the real estate market and then that does no views, well, if you see that the property tour video is just crushing it, make more of that type of content and vice versa. Not saying that that one's going to always work, but what I'm saying is depending on your content, depending on the topics, depending on you and your market, it may be that the housing market videos or real estate market videos absolutely crush it, but your property tour videos get 5 or 10 views, right? So there's no one size fits all, and that's what's great about YouTube. You get to figure it out. You get to figure out which videos are actually getting the watch time. However, it's very doable. You have all this data, you have all this number, you have everything that you need in order to succeed. So if you focus on these 4 metrics, so if you focus on the 30-second retention graph and make sure that you have at least 70% attendance after the first 30 seconds, you're gonna win. If you focus on the parts of your video that have a retention spike, you're going to win. If you create more content that helps that, if you know which videos are suggesting views or suggesting your video to their audience, it's going to help you going over to their channel and seeing what videos are working so that you can make more videos that accompany that video. And then if you focus on the views by the content that you're creating and you have command of the content that you're creating so you can make adjustments along the way, it's going to be vital for your growth. Hopefully this was helpful and you know what numbers to focus on, what metrics to focus on when it comes to your YouTube studio. Hope to see you on the next one.